I'm Patrick Lancaster. We've got some breaking news. The invasion of the Ukrainian port city of Odessa has begun. The military to take control of the city. Now, this might not be exactly what you think it is. It's not the Russian military that's moving into the city. It is under orders of Ukrainian President Zelensky for a military administration to be set up in the city to take control of the city. Let's get into it. A military administration is now being created to take control of Odessa, a key Black Sea port city, under orders of President Zelensky. What seems the main task is to remove the mayor, Gennadiy Trukhanov, who has been stripped of Ukrainian citizenship by Zelensky. Odessa, Ukraine's largest seaport, vital for imports, exports, and naval logistics. A city long viewed as a pressure point, politically divided, economically crucial, and culturally diverse. Odessa, with a strong Russian population, has become a symbolic stronghold of Ukraine, but also Russia, as many Russians look into the future in hopes that Russia will control Odessa at some point. And this, of course, has made it quite the target for Russia, but also created much internal struggles. How does this happen? How is Ukraine making a military administration to take over the city of Odessa? Well, there's been long-running friction between Zelensky's government and the mayor of Odessa. Zelensky accuses the mayor of having Russian ties, which he denies. And in fact, he's been accused of also having Russian citizenship. And this has come to a boiling point where just in the last 24 hours, Zelensky has officially stripped his Ukrainian citizenship from him, which automatically removes him supposedly as the mayor of Odessa. There's also been long-running disputes of de-Russification in the city, where the Ukrainian government has ordered the, as it sounds, de-Russification, taking Russian culture out of the city, which has a large population of Russians and a lot of history rooted in the Soviet Union. Bringing down Soviet and Russian monuments, like's been happening all across Ukraine, and removing the Russian language and anything that has to do with Russia, tearing the roots and the history out of the city and out of their history, basically. On September 24th, there was a petition posted on Zelensky's website calling for a military administration to replace Odessa's city council, for the military to take control of Odessa, basically. It quickly received its 25,000 signatures, supposedly, and now is obligated to, the government of Ukraine is obligated by this process to give it an official response. So it's happening. And another petition was posted to demand the revocation of the mayor's citizenship after allegedly him having Russian citizenship, which he denies. October 14th, Zelensky confirmed his receipt of these petitions, saying that he sent letters to the commander-in-chief and the head of the Odessa Regional Military Administration to verify information and, if legally justified, to take appropriate action. And this signals the official start of the formal process for a military takeover of the city governance under martial law powers. That's what this is. A military takeover of a city's governance under martial law powers, ordered and put in process by a president of Ukraine who is not anymore democratically elected. He is not elected to be president at this point in time. He canceled the elections because of the war, and now he is ordering the military takeover of a Ukrainian city from his position of martial law and unelected non-democratic sitting president. And things are moving fast. October 15th, Zelensky signed a decree revoking the mayor's Ukrainian citizenship, citing evidence from the Security Service of Ukraine, the SBU, of him having Russian citizenship and passport that they say was issued in 2015, specifically on December 15th, and he denies this, says it was a forge, and that the Ukrainian services have checked it many times over the past decade and never found any credible information saying it was real. But the fact is, Zelensky has removed his citizenship, so now he is ineligible to be the mayor of Odessa. Just after that, Zelensky comes out saying Odessa deserves more protection and decisive leadership. I have decided to establish a city military administration. The appointment of the head will come shortly. Process is moving fast. Now, and again, this is a direct result of martial law. Under martial law, such administrations are to replace elected city governments when deemed necessary for national defense or international security. That's how martial law works. So that's what's happening right now. This unelected president is invoking rights under martial law to remove a democratically elected mayor of a city. Basically, in one way or another. He's removing the citizenship, and that automatically makes him not the mayor, but then he's using martial law to take control of the city. I guess in case the mayor doesn't leave and follow the law. Quite the spaghetti of avenues that Zelensky's taking here to take control of this Black Seaport city. And this does mark the first time Odessa has been placed under direct military control during the war. It's happened to other areas on the front line, but not to Odessa. And Ukrainian media is reporting that Serhiy Lysak, the current head of the Dnipropetrovsk regional military administration, is the front runner to take charge in the military administration of Odessa. And what are the reactions? Well, what we can see so far, there are some reports of some protests and spontaneous gatherings being formed with no large-scale clashes reported. And Zelensky's critics are describing this as a political purge, removing local opposition under the cover of martial law. So what's next? What are we looking out for? Well, number one is the official presidential decree of the military administration of Odessa. The appointment announcement of who's going to be running it. The reactions both from the people and from the political sphere and international atmosphere of how this news is being taken of this takeover of a civilian city to now a military city. Odessa, once called the Pearl of the Black Sea, is going to be under military wartime control of the Ukrainian government now. And Zelensky's decree removing the longtime mayor has created some unrest in the city. How far will the unrest go? We're not sure. Will it be squashed right away? Or what will be the civil response from these actions? And will his decree strengthen the national defense of Ukraine or weaken it? We're going to have many updates for you here in the future on this subject and, of course, the rest of the war. So stick with us. Please like this video, share it across all social media. Let's show the world together the information that they're not going to see in any other places. Of course, I don't have all the information, but I show you information I see that quite possibly the Western mainstream media doesn't want you to see. Maybe this will make the media in the West, it might actually fit Trump's narrative. We'll have to see. But as far as my upcoming reports from the front line, you're not going to see those in the Western mainstream media. That's why I risk my life on a daily basis for you. And we got something even more special for you coming up here in just a second. Stick with us. All right, we're going to get back to the action in just a second, but I wanted to talk to you about some upcoming information that I think deserves some attention. With war hitting the headlines all across the world almost constantly now, it seems like there's a new war every few days or weeks, and some wars unfortunately seem like they're lasting forever. We hope peace comes to every war. You know, let Trump be the one that ends all the wars, as he likes to play it off as. Who knows? But yeah, we hope peace comes to this war and all the other wars. But we see how much war is affecting daily life of people in many countries around the world. See what's happening between Russia and Ukraine right now. Not only on the front line where I report, but in the civilian sectors, the infrastructure, and much more. And when you talk about the national security of any country today, it's not just about military strength or military power. It's also about the resources that power these nations, whether it's Russia, the United States, Ukraine, Thailand, which just came out of a war thanks to Trump apparently, and this is seen by the targeting of infrastructure and how through this targeting and the hitting of infrastructure, you can see that some areas of a country can be slowed to a halt with just attacks on infrastructure, and just not the infrastructure working in general the way it should be. Now, with these resources that are powering the nation, copper, a simple metal, seems to be a cornerstone of infrastructure, clean energy, advanced technologies, in basically all world powers around the world, including the United States and Russia. With recent global events, there has become clear a serious and clear vulnerability in the United States and other NATO bloc countries when it comes to the dependency on foreign imports of critical metals, while at the same time Russia gets its copper mainly from its own domestic mineral deposits in locations like Siberia, the Urals, and the Far East. This has made the copper prices skyrocket, and import restrictions have made it clear that domestic supply, or lack thereof, in many countries is now being called a matter of national security, quote unquote. And that's when it comes to the infrastructure that keeps the country running and keeps the people living. It seems like a race at this point, and Russia's in the lead. Will this race keep shooting the price of copper through the roof? I don't know, but that's where District Copper Corp, the sponsor of today's video, comes into play, and why I thought it might benefit you and your family. And as always, I only do sponsors that I think might benefit you and your family. I'm never going to bring you a VPN or a video game or something like that. Just something that I find interesting and that I can go in depth into. By securing a U.S. market listing under the ticker CAXPF, the company has been signaling a vision that seems to be going far beyond exploration, positioning domestic resources to meet a growing infrastructure. District Copper's projects sit in resource-rich regions that gives the company a solid foundation with its U.S. listing and vision. an expansion into other key states could be next, putting District Copper in a position to strengthen critical supply chains vital to stability of infrastructure that keeps people living. Copper is everywhere, in the power grids that keep cities running, in advanced electronics, in the automotive industry, even in the green industry of renewable energy. Every surge in the demand underscores a need to secure domestic supply, not only for the US, but any country that wants to keep up. District Copper isn't just mining, they're supporting infrastructure that keeps people living. And while District Copper's current footprint is significant, there is further US expansion suspected to be possible in the near future. With the rising demand of copper, that literally changes every day with the news of what war is breaking out and what's happening to the infrastructure around the world. The strategic positioning of District Copper shows they are on a path to possibly be leading the way for a huge copper expansion. So we're going to be keeping an eye on them. And as always, any sponsor that I do, as I said, I go in depth on, and I want to show you more of what I can about District Copper, just like I do in my reports. I show you what I see and the information I can get and the opinions of the people I talk to. So hopefully we're going to be able to get an interview with the CEO of District Copper, like I've done in the past with other sponsors, to not just give you some one-off sponsorship video of just some bullshit that's you don't really get a lot out of, like other YouTubers will do a sponsored video, just read you some list of something and forget it. No, I don't forget it. I get into it in depth, just like I do anything on this channel, any reports, any information. I bring you as much as I can to the best of my ability. So let's keep an eye on District Copper, see how it goes, see what other information we can bring to you. Now, if you think District Copper might be something that could benefit you or your family, because in the end, any man's job is to look out for your family. That's what I do. That's my main goal. And of course, I try to look out for the world as well with my information. That's why I go places that you're not going to see information from anywhere else in the mainstream media. I show you what the rest won't show you. And hopefully I give you some perspective here on District Copper that you wouldn't see somewhere else. And as always, I push as hard as possible for you to bring you information that is either going to help you make an educated opinion on something, or maybe help your family in the long run. Who knows? If you want to get more information on the company, check out the link in the description and the pinned comments. And definitely a big thanks to District Copper for sponsoring and supporting today's report. And now let's get into it. Let's get back to the war. Let's get back to me risking my life on a daily basis for you. This is what I do. This is why I do it, for you and for my family, like any man should, supporting their family. But I support you too, because I will never be part of a major media organization that's going to tell me what I should put in my reports. You're my boss. You tell me what I should put in my reports. My viewers tell me, no one else. All right, let's get back into it.